Hello, Jonathan Thompson fans. Jonathan Thompson back here with another YouTube video. Today we're talking about Steelers Dolphins, the Monday night matchup for the game. Let's just get on right to it. Being Dolphins are trash. Trap game, possibly. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've heard some people say that. I've heard some people not. We can't obviously underestimate them. As much because they do have great offensive talent. As much as people say they don't, their offense is very, I guess, I don't know, lethal, because they can find ways to score points if you let them. And our defense has been our strong suit, so we just gotta hope our defense doesn't let them score points. It's that simple, right? Wrong. I mean, all I want is, obviously, I want our defense to count. I really want this to be a shutout. I'm hoping for a shutout. This should be a shutout. And this defense should keep them away, get the turnovers, get balls, and all that. So the offense can, I don't know, experiment a little bit. I guess this is more like an experimentation match. I mean, sure, stats count and whatnot because it's regular season. But in the end, even if we win 3-0 like we did in the last time, or and it becomes a boring game, at least if we get to, I guess, experiment with our team. Experiment some offensive plays, some defensive plays. Experiment Mason Rudolph throwing the ball deep. This is the perfect time to experiment with the deep ball, Juju, and with Johnson, maybe even Washington. Experiment, get out the run game. Maybe do a little bit. I don't know. We don't really do Wildcat anymore because Samuels is now injured. Get more I form going with Rosie Nix now back. Really just get everything to flow. As much as I want a lot of touchdowns to go to like Juju or to like other wide receivers like that, even if we only score 3 points, I'll be happy because A, we get the win, and B, if we get to experiment, I mean, obviously experimenting should be we score a lot, but I'm not saying a big. If anything, I'm not saying a big game. I'm not saying we go out like 42-0 or anything. If anything, if we're gonna keep them scaril, we might go like 35-0, get 5 touchdowns, call it a day. Try to experiment with our options to see how we can overall work with the team and whatnot. But this should be a win. If it's anything but a win, if it's a tie, which I don't, if you tie or you lose to the Dolphins, your team is pretty much garbage. Not even garbage. It's just how, I mean, you're an embarrassment to this entire league if you lose. It's sort of like losing to the Jets after what New England did to them, and after the whole when they're seeing when Sam Darnold's seeing ghosts and you lose to them. I mean, it's bad. It looks bad for you. Same thing with losing to like the Redskins or like to the Bengals or stuff. Even though the Dolphins already lost, but they're both garbage teams. But you understand they're like 0-7. They look like they're gonna go 0-16. Maybe get like a win or loss here or somewhere. But they're not good. Losing to them is just like a stab to the chest of your fans, but not only that, to the team itself, because you lost to the worst team in the NFL. It just if we lose, we won't end the hear of it. We won't hear the end of it from all these different fan bases, including the Dolphins. We won't definitely hear it from the Ravens, Browns, and the Bengals will definitely give us garbage. So it's more of, I guess, if this is a must win, I won't just really say this is a must win, but this is a must win. Baltimore is on a bye week too, so you kind of have to win this game. And if Cleveland loses, this gives us a perfect opportunity to sort of steal away a clear spot in trying to chase the Ravens, and also gives us a chance of one up, Cleveland, so that when we end up playing them, we can get more ground on them and they can't chase up and they'll still stay third place like normal. I think the division is not going to become the Browns. I think it's going to be between us and the Ravens, and we can easily take it. This is probably one of the worst years to be in an AFC North fan. AFC North is probably not really looking too hot. I mean, you have one team with Lamar Jackson. You have one team, Lamar Jackson, in which the Ravens, who have running backs and pretty much in their normal running back position and in their quarterback position. You will have one team in the Steelers who has injuries at a lot of positions here and there and whatnot, and just haven't been able to flow on offense. You have another team with the Bengals, who are just the Bengals. They suck. All right, it's Cincinnati. They have AJ Green, who's injured. Who could honestly, I would trade the Steelers. Honestly, at this point, we don't even have a first rounder. Trading a second to get AJ Green could be a power move, because he's not like he doesn't bring drama. Maybe he's a little injury prone. I don't know how many times he's gotten injured besides this year. But maybe a second and or fifth rounder. I would say just a second. You could really and especially now, if you can get trade now, the way the Steelers are only 2-4, people might think, oh yeah, we're not going to go anywhere higher than just 2-4. You really trade this now. Besides obviously Steelers fans, and we're probably going to be right. But if you trade now and you get AJ Green and he comes back, he comes healthy, he learns the system, you're looking at now a good number. No, you're looking at a very underrated number one. I say that because AJ Green is underrated, and that's because he's had garbage on his team for this entire time. Besides maybe Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's a good running back, but obviously coming to Pittsburgh, he'd have a good quarterback in Mason Rudolph. James Conner, who's a good power back, good running back, good one-cut guy. A elite O-line. Juju, who is a very good wide receiver duo. They can become a very good duo. Sort of how AB was with Juju. You can see that with Green and Juju and through that, and that would be sick. I would totally want to see that. That would be awesome to watch. Juju and Green do it. Well, I'm saying, should the Steelers trade for AJ Green? Probably not, obviously. Maybe get another wide receiver in the draft, but I think, or maybe get one from free agency, but honestly, I think we need a number one wide receiver. Juju isn't a number one. He still needs to develop into a number one. I don't think he's gotten enough guidance. He hasn't got. If AB was able to guide him into being a good number one, like how Hines Ward was able to guide AB into becoming a number one, Juju would be perfectly fine. But because Juju didn't get, I guess, that much guidance, and he has to take this leadership role on by himself, even though this is his third year, it's kind of hard for him. It's possible, obviously, as he grows on, but I think getting at least a number one we can use for maybe 2-3 years to help bring Juju into that number one role will greatly help the Steelers. And it's not like Juju won't be used in the offense more. He can definitely be used, and it allows us to, I guess, do different things. Moncrief, I think everyone had high hopes. I would honestly cut him. I was going to say cut him, bring in Eli Rogers. The best thing you can do. That or cut Ryan Switzer and bring in Eli Rogers. It's honestly what best you can do. It's going to help either way. In that way, sense. If you really think about it. Ryan Switzer hasn't been much. I mean, I thought he was good. Good return specialist. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know if he's just struggling or something because our team is struggling. I don't know, but if he's going to want to stay with this team, he's going to need to prove himself in some big way. And I'm going to say you got to score a touchdown off the kick return. I know those are harder nowadays because most teams kick into the end zone. They don't really do much kick returns anymore. And when they do, you usually get to like the 30, 35, if anything, if it's like a good, decent return. But if you want to prove yourself, you're going to find open holes and you're going to do it. Or you're going to score touchdowns off of your catches and stuff. I mean, that's the only way you can really do it. I mean, otherwise you're going to get cut. I mean, or not cut, released at the end of the season probably. Or, if we don't find anyone next year, we'll probably bring in somebody. I'm sure anyone can. I'm sure we can find someone who'll play it. But that being said, we need to support Juju by probably getting another number one that can help him, or just give him guidance. Even if I don't want to say bring in Hines Ward, because I think Hines Ward's looking for coaching himself, to look for becoming a coach, and which is, I guess you could, but I think we need to bring that. I don't know, bring in an old Steelers even an old wide receiver from a different team. I would like Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh, they'll probably be a little bit more better. And just help Juju out being a leader. Bring back, like, I don't know, Lynn Swan. Maybe he has something. I don't know. But give something, give him help. I mean, Juju, if he gets the help he'll need, he'll be great. Guess that's about really it. I mean, it's Miami. They're not really that good. It's not like I really have to talk about stats or anything. They're garbage. That's really all I really want to see is the offense develop a lot more. The defense, just give the offense turnovers so they can develop. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Get the win. Those are, I guess, my big three things I really want. The big three things I really want to happen this game, so that when the offense develops, next game we can see that more develop, and next it just becomes a snowball effect, and next we're going into the playoffs with like 10-6, 11, 10-6, 9, and 7, and we're just able to take that steamroll into the playoffs and do something. I don't know if we'll do how far we'll go. We're probably not going to go that far, but if we lose, maybe we'll be close, and it's not like we'll be blown out unless we play New England. Then we probably will, because New England is probably NFL's probably rigging them to win the Super Bowl, because that's just the New England way. All right, that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends. I guess, do stuff. I'm trying to think more ways. I'm here. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, go tell your friends. Sure, if they like NFL stuff, or even if they just like Steelers stuff in general, I'm good. I'm Gucci. I might make a second channel just for my Steelers stuff and whatnot, but I don't know about that. This might just be my one channel. I mean, I've already posted so much NFL stuff. This might just be it. Anyway, like him, subscribe, don't forget to comment down below. This is John Thompson, saluting off.